Hey everybody, Cliff Ravenscraft coming to you again from the Next Level studio. And today I want to share with you a story from my past. It's not something I'm proud of, but it's something that I think will resonate with a lot of people in my community. In fact, I just recently had a conversation with somebody who prompted me to share this story with you. I can't share this person's details, but I can tell you it just was heart-wrenching for me to know that this person is stuck in a place today where I was so many years ago. This is about 15 years ago, maybe actually a little bit longer than that, maybe about 20 years ago. My wife and I have been married for 22 years, so I think it's closer to the 20 years mark. But I want to share with you just what my life was like back then. I remember feeling like I was drowning in debt. We're talking probably around $80,000 in unsecured debt. That's student loan. That was a couple car payments where the cars were actually less valuable than the loan value. Then there was a number of credit cards, but I felt like drowning in debt, just barely treading water is how I felt every single time it came time to pay those minimum payments on all of those various different debts that we had. So yes, I was drowning in debt. There was a time where it got so bad that we were literally paying for gasoline in our brand new cars with pennies. Now, for the sake of the clerks at the gas station, we did take the time to count them up in bunches of 50 and put them in paper rolls. But I hate to admit it, but yes, there was a time where we literally went to the gas station with several rolls of pennies to put like $5 or $6 worth of gas into the car so that we can make it to and from work. Ridiculous, I know, but it was a reality for us. I'll never forget the number of times that we cried on payday, both myself and my wife, where it's just like you get your paycheck and there's just too much month at the end of the money. I didn't come up with this phrase, but I certainly have discovered what it means. And back then, I just remember crying on payday and it's like, man, this is awesome. It's going to be payday on Friday. And then I would deposit that and we would pay all of the bills that needed to be paid. And then before you know it, there were still bills left over and there was no money left over for us to do anything that we enjoyed. And that caused a lot of emotional crisis in our lives, if you can imagine that. And then I remember because of this, we were in the place where there were times when we would get these credit card offers where it says, hey, do a balance transfer. Here's some paper checks, and all you have to do is write in who you want us to send the money, give the money to. Give them this check and we'll put that on here and you can balance transfer things over. And I remember sometimes paying for the monthly minimum payment on some of our cards with a check from another credit card. It was so bad. And my friends, this right here, when it comes to the free the dream message, what we have here are results. These were the results that I was getting in life. Now, at the Free the Dream conference, at least in the opening keynote address for Free the Dream 2018, I shared 4 very difficult statements with the audience that was in attendance. These were not easy for me to tell them because, quite frankly, I knew many of those people in the audience and some of the circumstances in their lives. And for me to say these things was challenging, but I am convinced that they are true. I'm going to share those 4 statements with you here. Number 1, we have the life that we believe we must have. All right. Now, that won't make as much sense if you're not familiar with the Free the Dream message. It will make a little bit more sense by the end of this video. So I'll just move on to the next statement. We have the life that we tolerate. We have today. Back then, my wife and I had these results. This was the results of the life that we were living. We had these results because we tolerated it. We were willing to put up with this kind of living, and we put up with it for a very long time. That's why I started out 15 years ago, and it's like, no, this all started about 20 years ago when life started, but we tolerated this for about 5 years of living life like this consistently. And we lived that life because we tolerated it. We were willing to put up with it. Quite frankly, we didn't know that there was anything better out there, but we'll get to that in a little bit as well. The third statement, we are where we are in life because we chose to be here. We were here because we chose to be here. We chose to be drowning in debt. We chose to be paying for pennies and for gas and pennies. We chose to have too much month at the end of the money, and we chose to do ridiculous things to make ends meet. We chose that life. And when we get down to it, statement number 4, we have the life that we deserve. Quite frankly, I deserved every bit of these results in my life. Because here's a formula that I share in the Free the Dream message. Here's what I will tell you. We got the results over here. What equals the results that we get in our life? It's the actions that we take. Actions equal our results. So if I want to take these results that I've received in life and I apply these statements down here, I realize that if this formula is true, actions equals results, well, these results have to be the result of some actions. So we're going to flip the whiteboard over, and I want to show you what actions I had taken to get the results that I deserved. These are the choices, these are the decisions that I made when it came to the actions, and it's these that led to the results. See, these results didn't just happen to me. It wasn't just a bad economy. It wasn't because I got let go of a job unexpectedly. It wasn't anyone else's fault. I deserved the life that I had because of the actions that I've taken in that past lifestyle. All right? So what are some of these actions? First one, buying new cars that I could not afford. I don't know what it was, and I do not place the blame on any car dealership or any of the bank institutions, but for whatever reason, there were a number of people who were willing to sell us cars with no money down, or drive it off the lot today, your first payment, not until whatchamacallit. All right, so I remember buying brand new cars that we could not afford. Now, it's not that we couldn't afford the monthly payment. We could afford that. But could we afford the actual for the car with cash? No. Would we have been able to do that within a reasonable amount of time? No. But could we finance it for 5 years and live with a minimum monthly payment? We made the decision to take that action, and therefore we had the results that led to drowning in debt and having cars that we couldn't afford. All right, so buying new cars that we couldn't afford. Eating out with credit cards. We couldn't afford to eat out. I already told you, we have this problem where at the end of our paycheck, I just there's not enough money to do anything. We can't go to the movies. We can't do this. But we do have a balance still on the one credit card. We just paid, that minimum payment that freed up about this. We could probably go out to eat. And so we were eating out. Those are actions that we took that just led to more and more of the results that we deserved as a result of the actions that we took. Buying the latest gadgets on credit card. I've always been an early adopter of technology. And so I always felt like I needed the latest computer, the latest webcam, the latest scanner, the latest anything, whether it was a shortwave radio or whatever the case may be, whatever tickled my fancy at the time, I always wanted to buy the latest gadgets. And of course, I couldn't afford them, so I put them on credit. Actions that I took, decisions that I made led to the results. Refusing to do the math to discover how much money I must earn to live the life that I desire. Now, this is an action. Refusing to do something, the refusal is an action. So, refusing to do the math to discover how much money I must earn to live the life that I desire. Now, the thing is I had never taken the time to say, how much are these new cars? How much would it cost for us to eat out 2 or 3 nights a week? How much would it cost for me to be on average per year for me to buy the latest gadgets, given the average cost of a gadget that I am into, and taking that over the course of the year? And doing all of this stuff, how much, I just realized that I skipped one, but I'll come back to it. But how much would it cost for me to live this lifestyle? And then put a dollar figure on that and say, okay, where's the gap between how much I'm earning now, or how much I would need to be able to pay for all of this without credit cards, and how much am I earning now, and how much of a difference is there, and what would I need to do differently? Now, the thing is we'll get to why I refused to do that, why I did the action of refusing that. Also, I refused to stick to a budget. The B word was a bad word in our household a long time ago. And then refusing to change the work that I do that would generate the income that I must earn to live in integrity. All right, and for me to live in integrity, that means that integrity with who I was created to be, that is a part of my true God-given identity. That's what I mean when I say to live in integrity. I can tell you right now, the life that I showed you on the other side of the results that I had, that was not a man who was living in integrity with who he was created to be. All right, it wasn't. And so I knew that something was wrong, but I refused to change anything. Part of that was, we'll get to the reason why I refused to do this, which would help you understand why I refused to do this. But anyway, so we already talked about actions equals our results, right? So these are the actions that I took. Now in Free the Dream, I talk about the fact that all beliefs have consequences. And recently here in the vlog and in my newsletter, I've talked about what is a belief. And just a short little reminder, a belief is nothing more than a thought that you feel certain is true. There is a difference between something that is true or something that is a fact and something that you believe. See, something you believe is just a thought. It is a series of words in your mind that make up a thought that you feel certain is true, that you feel certain is fact, undisputable, all right? So that's what a belief is. And it's important for you to understand that your beliefs lead to the actions that you take. The decisions that you make on a daily basis are derived from the beliefs that you have. See, you can't you would think that if I wanted to get new results in my life, all I have to do is change my actions. It's impossible for you to change your actions without first understanding why you're taking the actions or making the decisions to do this stuff over here. All right. There are beliefs that are underlying the decisions, the choices that you are making in life. And most of those beliefs, believe it or not, you're unconscious of. You don't even know that you have those beliefs. All right. So let's take a look and see what caused this belief system, or the belief system that I had that led to the results that I was getting. Number one, debt is normal. I had this reaffirmed to me a number of times. Listen, taxes and being in debt, those are the things that you just expect in being life. Everybody's going to die in debt, you know? Debt is just the normal way of living. The average person has X number of thousands of dollars in credit card debt. You're no different than anyone else. This isn't shameful. Everybody has it. It's just debt is a part of life. All right. That's a belief that I had. All right. Which allowed me to easily say, and I had this belief that as long as I agree to pay as long as I always live up to paying my minimum monthly payments on any debt that I have, then I'm fine. And because that was a part of my belief system and my identity at the time, I did crazy things to make sure that happened. Sometimes it's like, well, here's a little loophole. I can actually use it was on the other side. I can use this little paper check from the credit card company to pay the minimum payment on another one, or pay a little bit more off on the other one. Anyway, debt is normal was a belief that led me to make some of the decisions over here. or at least allowed me to anyway. Here's another one. New cars are more dependable, therefore more affordable. I can't begin to tell you the number of times my wife and I had conversations about whether or not we should buy that next new car or whatever. And I'm like, listen, I'm not a car guy. I know nothing about fixing these things. Here's the deal. If we go buy this, we know that the payment's going to be $299 per month. And based upon our income and where things are, we could probably make that work. I might have to work a couple extra hours or something like that, but I know I can keep up with that. What I don't know is that with our current financial situation, our current results that we have right now, I'm not certain that if we bought an older car and all of a sudden it has a $2,000 repair that's necessary, I don't know that we can handle that. And so I allowed myself to take this belief right here and say that a new car is going to be more affordable because there'll be less maintenance, and it's more of an a known certain cost that we'll have. And the reality is that that's not true. I've learned a whole lot since then that you can get an older car and you may occasionally have a 2000. Just take the $200 per month that you would have put towards a monthly payment, put that into a. Did I have that belief system then? No. So we didn't do this. And of course, we didn't have the budget, right? We'll get to the budget in just a moment. But eating out is more enjoyable. That's a belief that I had. It's like, listen, at the time I was working full time. Stephanie was working full time. And, at the end of the day, we're tired and we're kind of wore out. And it's like, do we really want to have to prepare a meal, then eat, and then clean up afterwards? We could just go down the road and just unwind and relax and let somebody serve us. Eating out is just so much more enjoyable, so much more convenient. That's a belief system that led us to make some decisions over here, along with the fact that debt is normal and all this other stuff. And so why not, this belief leads into this, and it builds upon other beliefs and other actions. And all of this turns into the results that we get in life. So I also feel good whenever I get a new gadget. Here's what I will tell you. When you're experiencing the life that I shared on the other side, when you're drowning in debt and at the end of the week, you get your paycheck and there's still no money left over and you're paying for pennies or gas with pennies, I got to tell you, as the guy who is the man in the house and you've been taught and you have this belief that you're the provider of the family, you're responsible and stuff like that, the emotional weight of experiencing that lifestyle on the other side of the board, I got to tell you, that weighed heavily on me, made me feel horrible. And I got to tell you, sometimes just getting a new gadget would distract me. The feeling of something new would to take my mind off of the cares of the world. I would get involved in this new thing. It would occupy my time. I would be learning, and it was so much fun. And I had always loved new gadgets. So I know that if I get a new gadget, I'm going to feel good. And of course, I had this belief that if I feel good, I'll be more productive at work, and I'll even do things to pay it off even faster. So yeah, that led me to buying those gadgets on credit. Okay, that belief system. Budgeting is too restrictive. All right. That, and of course, the number of times that we've had that conversation in our household way back in the day is, oh my gosh, there's just no way we can budget. There's not enough. I mean, the thing is, we'd have to cut out everything. This is too restrictive. This is too much. It's just like, there's no way. This will never work. Blah, blah, blah. So that belief led us to the fact of refusing to stick to any budget that we would ever create. Now, what led to refusing to do the math? Was it a belief? Not necessarily. It was actually plain downright ignorance. All right. And I'm not afraid to admit to you that I was ignorant of the fact that this is something that I should do. All right. Ignorance is not stupidity. I don't feel guilty about being ignorant. It just means I was unaware. So I claim ignorance on this. I never once thought about creating a list of all of the things that I want in life. What are my dreams? What do I dream for myself to have in life? I dream of having this house and it's paid for. I dream of having these cars and they're paid for. I dream of making this much money so that I can pay for these different things. I want to be able to have a budget for the gadgets that I want. I want to have I want to go on vacation with the family to to Europe for, or around the world. And I want to be able to do that every couple of years. And this is how much money all of that lifestyle would cost. And then I'm going to do the math and say, how much money do I need to earn per year to live that lifestyle? I never once thought, I was completely ignorant of the idea of asking myself this question. And this is where today I start with people dreaming about what they want in life. What is it that you want? What is it that you desire? What is your dream? And a lot of people haven't even thought to ask themselves because, well, they have beliefs that says, well, you should never have more than what you need to survive today. Only ask your heavenly Father for today, your daily bread to get you by today. Anything more than that is greedy and is going to lead you to the path of evil. Go see a couple prior videos to this one. There's all kinds of beliefs that keep people from dreaming big dreams about what they want and desire out of life. All right. So I certainly had that. Here's another belief though. Let's just say I had done this and refusing to change the work to get me more money, right? Well, I'm not qualified to earn that much money. That's a belief that I had at the time. It's like, this is how much money I make per year. And I feel worthy of making this much year. I don't feel worthy or qualified to make more than that. I think at the time I was probably making about $45,000, $55,000 a year. And I had friends of mine who were making, let's just say, $85,000 or $100,000 a year. And of course, in my mind, those people were so much more qualified. They had so much more experience. They had so much more personal charisma than I had. Sure, they can generate that. They have so much more confidence in themselves and their abilities. I'm not qualified. And so because of that, I refused to change the work that I was doing. And also, I had this belief that to earn that much money, yeah, I believe I could probably do it, but man, I'm going to have to go take one of those jobs doing something that I hate. And I'd rather be doing work getting paid so much less that I can tolerate than to go out and earn twice as much money and do something I hate. And I felt like, and I had the belief, I had a thought that I felt certain was true, that for me to earn twice as much money in the same amount of time, I'd have to do something that I hate, which is not true. So here's the beliefs that I had. Beliefs lead to the actions that I took, which gave me the results that I started this video with. Drowning in debt, buying new gadgets on credit, eating out on credit, paying for gas in the car, a couple dollars at a time, using rolled up pennies, crying when we got on payday. The happiest day of the week at the time also was the most depressing day of the week. I did not have a great life. I didn't. Yet, here, change your beliefs and you'll change your life. Here's what I will tell you. I will tell you that I had the life that I believed that I must have. And again, all because of the beliefs that I had, all right? We had the life that we tolerated, all right? We were where we were because we chose to be there by the actions that we took, and we had the life that we deserved. We deserved every bit of this based upon all of the actions, all of the decisions that I've taken. Now, I told you that this was very challenging for me to state these statements in front of the Free the Dream community because I knew that people were in the audience, and some of them, quite frankly, have some results or circumstances in their life that they didn't choose, that are not necessarily something they had any control over. Even my own wife has shared openly about some sexual abuse as a child. There are people who have cancer that are not related, at least it doesn't appear to be related to any poor choices in the foods or activities that they've done in their life. There are people who do experience some circumstances in life that you just have no control over. But one thing I can tell you is we do have control over the beliefs that we have. What we believe, the circumstances that happen in our life, what we believe about what those things mean will have dire consequences. Whether you can have an empowering belief about something that's happened to you and how that's going to help you empathize and serve others who are also experiencing that tragic thing in their life, and this makes you a more valuable person to contribute to the overall good of humanity, or whether or not what you believe is that this happened to you and therefore life is meaningless, the world is evil, everybody's out to get you, and you just might as well just pack it up and give up. Those are two different beliefs that you can have about the same circumstance in your life. And the same is true. Whatever you believe will lead to the actions or the decisions that you take about the actions that you take in life. And it's your beliefs about any circumstance that's going to get you to the results. And so if you think about this, some very terrible things may have occurred in your life, may be occurring in your life right now. But whatever happens as a result, whatever the end results are long-term down the road, it's up to you. You actually are choosing what to do. You're choosing, number one, you're intentionally choosing, or maybe unintentionally, unconsciously choosing what you believe, which will lead to the actions that you will take, which will lead to the results that you will have in life. So my question to you is, are you happy with the results of what you have in life today? Whether it be your financial situation, whether it be your weight and health and fitness overall, whether it be the relationship with your spouse if you're married, the relationship with your kids, your spiritual life, are you happy with the results that you're getting out of life today? And my answer to you, my response to you, if the answer to that question is no, I want to invite you to come to the Free the Dream Conference. Free the Dream Conference is coming up this September 13th through the 15th in Franklin, Tennessee. And I'm absolutely convinced that it will help you bridge the gap between the life that you feel called to live and the life that you're currently living today. It will help you bridge the gap between the things that you say you're going to do in life, those actions that you know you need to take, that you should be taking, but you just seem to take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. We're going to help you bridge the gap between the things that you say you're going to do and the things you actually end up doing and keep doing consistently to get new results. Free the Dream will help you change your beliefs about who you are and what you're able to achieve in this world. It will help you change those beliefs that have been hidden, underlying, below the surface, things that you're not even conscious of. You'll discover beliefs that came from things that people that you loved as a kid said that you didn't even realize are impacting your life today in a very powerful and profound way, and sometimes very negatively. We'll help you not only discover what beliefs you have that are holding you back, but how to break free from those beliefs. We'll help you discover how to replace them with empowering beliefs that you can consistently help you drive new actions in your life. And we'll also teach you how to get this thing called leverage and teach you a step-by-step formula for how to achieve any goal you want to achieve in life. My friends, I can say all of this with confidence because everything that I'm talking about here today, this was my life. I live a completely different life today, but I live the life I have today because I deserve it based upon the different beliefs that I adopted and the different actions those beliefs led to, which got me the results that I have today, which none of this is a reality for me and never will be again because I will never go back to the beliefs that lead to this. All right. I want to help you take your beliefs to the next level. Head over to freethedreamconference.com. Grab your ticket today. One person said to me recently, he says, Cliff, I'm in a situation like this. And for me, one thing I can tell you is that I've not even considered coming to Free the Dream because, well, quite frankly, it just seems like a luxury to me. And the thing is that's a difficult because I can't imagine, you're already drowning in debt. You're already behind on bills or whatever the case may be. And here you're thinking about attending a conference, going out of town, traveling, getting a hotel. And it's difficult for me. For this person that I'm talking about, I personally chose to give him free access to the online course version of Free the Dream. And just am praying that maybe that will cause him to start believing some new things, to take some actions instantly within the next 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even have a completely different opportunity career-wise that will help him double his income in half the amount of time that he's working now, which is currently 2 different jobs that aren't leading to the results that he needs. And so maybe just having him go through the online version of Free the Dream might cause him to deal with some beliefs, take some new actions, and get new results that might allow him to take me up on a special offer that I offered for him and his wife to come to Free the Dream as at a very discounted rate, because I personally am connected with this guy and he's been such a valuable member of my community. But I got to tell you, Free the Dream, come. It will change your life. I promise you. It's not a luxury. It's an investment. I can tell you that. But be responsible. Don't do it out of bad conscience. If your conscience says, listen, I can't go further in debt, do something to get out of debt. Change your beliefs about debt. Can you actually create some additional income to pay for this so that it's not taking away what would... Do something. Get some new beliefs. Take your beliefs to the next level. I want to help you with that through the Free the Dream message. Check out, and by the way, if you haven't done so already, get the free opening keynote address at mindsetanswerman.com/free. If that's what you need to do, start there. Mindsetanswerman.com/free. I'll give you the free opening keynote address to Free the Dream 2018. It will teach you where your beliefs came from, how to discover them, how to eliminate those beliefs, and how to replace them with some new ones. A step-by-step process. 1-hour video will transform your life. That I can tell you. I can promise you. I've got the testimonials for it. So mindsetanswerman.com/free won't cost you a penny. But hopefully, based upon that, it will inspire, educate, and motivate you to take some new actions that will cause you to be able to come to Free the Dream Conference this September. September 13th through the 15th in Franklin, Tennessee. Head over to freethedreamconference.com. Grab your tickets as soon as you are convinced it's the right decision for you. Don't delay. Tickets prices go up as we get closer to the event. I want to see you in Franklin, Tennessee. I want to help you take your beliefs to the next level. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.